What is up, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. Today we are checking out the Wampler Germanium Tumnus. Now this pedal is based on an original Klon circuit. I'm sure the majority of you are familiar with the Klon circuit. It goes all the way back to the 1990s. It was a guy named Bill Finnegan that designed that circuit. There were a few iterations of that circuit. There was a silver Klon, there was a gold Klon. The crux of that circuit was germanium diodes. Now, the precursor to this Wampler Germanium Tumnus was based on the original gold Klon with some tweaks that Brian Wampler, the designer, did on that circuit. What makes this one unique, the Germanium Tumnus, is that it's actually got the original spec germanium diodes in it. So it's very limited. Once those diodes, run out, once the stock that he has runs out, then the pedal will be discontinued. There was something about those original germanium diodes that just felt and sounded great, and I think this pedal captures that really well. So what's on the top of the pedal? It's super complicated. It's got a gain, volume, treble, and a bypass. So without further yammering, let's check out the limited edition Germanium Tumnus. Okay, let's check things out. Here's the guitar into the amplification unit. And here is the Germanium Tumnus. I'm going to start with everything at noon. Okay, cool. So I just went from having the gain like all the way up, volume down, rolling the guitar off. Everything on this, in my humble opinion, feels really good. The way I normally use something like this is, and a lot of like Nashville players will run the gain lower, run the volume pushed, and drive the amp harder. But I just went from basically the gain all the way up, rolling the volume down on the guitar, to the gain backed off, to pushing the amp way harder, just to give you some perspective on how this type of circuit works. And especially when you've got, you know, really good germanium diodes happening, it makes it all that much more gratifying. So I'll just go through, let's start with the gain range. I'm going to put everything back to essentially noon. And I'll just roll the gain so you can get an idea of what's going on with the overall gain range on this pedal. So once again, back to the clean tone. Now with the gain all the way off, you're already enhancing the tone. And that's with everything at noon, gain off. And as a matter of fact, I'll try and get it more to unity so we're not boosting at all. That's pretty close. So gain off, here's the gain at noon. That's with a single coil in the neck. I'll hit it with a humbucker. It's hotter. Here's the gain about 3/4 of the way up. And I'll go ahead and roll the gain all the way up. Okay, so that's the gain range. Obviously, this isn't a high gain pedal. It's, you know, this type of circuit isn't meant to be that, but with the gain all the way up, it's a good amount. You could take solos with that. In my opinion, it feels good. You know, I wish I could have you guys all play through this, but you can't. So I'm just saying, in my opinion, it feels good. So that's the gain range. It rolls off nicely. That's why I rolled off the guitar, just so you could check that out. Let's check out the volume control, because it's, you know, right now we're at about unity gain, but the way I like to run this pedal, and a lot of Nashville style players like to run this pedal as a push pedal or a boost pedal into their tube amp. So I'll go ahead and here's the guitar into the amp again. I'm going to turn the gain down and just utilize the volume control now. So just turning it on and off with the gain all the way down, volume all the way up. That's pretty dynamic already, and then we can start rolling the gain back into it. So that's a good amount of push into the amp. And then we can, of course, add clipping along with that. That sounds really smooth. And why not? Let's see. Volume all the way up. I'll turn the gain all the way up as well. So if you want it to sound more ampy, push the amp harder, less gain. If you want to go the other way, then stay closer to unity and add more clipping. And both characteristics sound really cool. So I'm going to leave both of these at noon, gain and volume. Let's just listen to the treble control. Treble off. Treble at about noon. Treble all the way up. So the treble is really useful. It's very musical. It depends on how you want to use it. In this case, I'm using it to kind of enhance what's already happening. But that's the whole point. Like if I want to just enhance the original tone with the pedal off, it's super musical. If I want to dime the gain, and I want maybe the gain's all the way up, maybe I want a smoother, kind of darker solo tone. I can do that if I want it to be a little more stinging. The range of the treble is broad enough that you can dial it to whatever you need to happen. And especially, and I'm not going to do it in this demo, but especially if you're going to push other pedals, then the treble is going to be very, very useful to kind of dial in how you want things to sound, especially in the top end of the other pedals you're pushing, because that's another thing this circuit is really great for. Okay, cool. So that is the Wampler Germanium Tumnus. If you've got any other questions, please go to the Wampler website. So definitely check it out there. And as always, I really appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you next time.